Hey mama, welcome to Career Growth for Working Moms. If you're stuck in a job that doesn't fit or burning out trying to do it all, you're in the right place. I'm Shannon, a career coach and fellow working mom. Here, you'll get simple career strategies and strength-based leadership tips to help you grow with clarity and confidence. So grab your coffee or reheat it for the third time and let's do this. Hey mama, welcome back to the show. Today's episode is for the woman who's been trying to create a work-life balance, but it still feels like she's constantly behind, constantly adjusting, and never quite on top of anything. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Work-life balance is not a formula, it's a feeling. And if your schedule isn't giving you that feeling, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because you're using someone else's blueprint. So today I'm going to bust through the 3 biggest myths I see around work-life scheduling and show you how to actually build one that feels good, honors your leadership style, and works even in the chaos of mom life. So myth number 1, balance means equal time. This one's a classic, and it's one I see in nearly every single mom I coach. We think that if we can just give equal time to work, kids, spouse, self-care, and maybe squeeze in that workout, then we'll finally feel balance. But let me ask you, have you ever had a day that was equal on paper, but you still ended up feeling completely drained? Or a weekend with your family that technically had plenty of time together, but your mind was still spinning with work stuff? That's because time doesn't equal presence. Let's make this real. If you're a boss lady in action, you might schedule equal blocks for work and home, but still feel agitated if the home block doesn't have a clear objective or outcome. You're craving structure in a space that needs softness. If you're a charismatic queen, you may spend the whole day with people, but if there's no meaningful connection or inspiration, you feel like you've missed the point. Balance isn't about splitting your minutes. It's about aligning your energy. Ask yourself, where do I want to be fully present this week? What moment would I regret missing? What do I need to feel like I showed up well? That's where you begin. That's the answer that might shift week to week, and that's okay. All right, myth number 2. Once I find the right routine, it's all going to click. This is the Pinterest myth. We think that somewhere out there is the perfect routine, and once we find it, everything will finally feel easy. Let me tell you a story. There was a season in my life when I had the planner, the blocks, the highlighters, the whole system. And for 2 weeks, it worked until one of the kids got sick. Then I had a late meeting. Then I hit a hormone crash. And suddenly, I was looking at this perfect plan and feeling like a failure all over again. So here's the shift. The goal of a routine isn't perfection. It's predictability. You're building scaffolding to support you, not a scorecard to measure your worth. Let's say you're a visionary brainiac. You might spend a lot of time creating the perfect plan, then stall when life veers off course. If you're a heart-centered guide, you might get derailed the moment someone needs you and feel like the plan is now pointless. But what if your routine could bend instead of break? Try this. Create anchor points instead of fixed schedules. An example might be a quiet hour after school or CEO Friday mornings. Give each day a theme to create direction, not rigidity. Allow space to re-enter your rhythm after interruptions without guilt. That's what real-life routines are made of. So myth number 3, a better schedule will fix the stress. This one is probably the most dangerous because on the surface, it sounds empowering. If I just fix my schedule, I'll stop feeling overwhelmed. But here's the thing, you're not overwhelmed because you're unorganized. You're overwhelmed because you're unaligned. So let's talk real life. I had a client, an influence relationship builder blend, who had optimized her calendar to the max. I mean, everything had a place. But she was constantly anxious. Her energy was tanking, and she couldn't figure out why she still felt behind. We looked closer. Yes, her schedule was full, but it wasn't hers. It was full of proving, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and just-in-case commitments. A better schedule won't heal a misaligned identity. If deep down you believe, I have to do it all to be worthy, or I can't say no, or I'll disappoint someone, rest means I'm falling behind, then the problem isn't the planner. It's the pressure you're placing on yourself. So here's the coaching truth. Until you start managing your emotional energy with the same intentionality you manage your calendar, the stress will stay. So how do you fix this? Here's what you're going to do. Choose one day per week to audit your energy, not your task. Ask yourself, what did I do this week because I wanted to versus what did I do to avoid guilt? If you're leading from survival, pause, choose again. And don't forget, different leadership styles burn out for different reasons. Boss lady, your burnout comes from over-control and invisible labor. Charismatic queen, burnout comes from overcommitting for attention or connection. Heart-centered guide, burnout comes from an emotional absorption and boundary leaks. Visionary brainiac, burnout comes from mental overload and analysis paralysis. Knowing your style is power. Leading from it is peace. So what actually works? Here are the 4 pillars of a schedule that supports your work and your life. Number 1, anchor your week around your priorities, not pressure. Start with your non-negotiables. What moments matter most this week? Where does your energy need to be strongest? What can only you do? Build from that, not from someone else's list. Number 2, lead from your strengths. If you've taken my leadership style quiz, you know your dominant style, and it absolutely impacts how your schedule should look. Let's match your leadership style to how your schedule can support you. If you haven't taken it, you can go to theshannonfox.com/leadership-style and take it and find out your style. Boss lady in action. You love structure. Your schedule thrives on routines, blocks, and checklists. So maybe you try Monday planning hours, Friday wrap up and celebrate rituals, a visual dashboard of wins to fuel your motivation. Your trap, though, is overloading your plate because you can. Let some things go. You'll lead better when you're not cleaning up everything. All right, Charismatic Queen, you need energy. You thrive when you're connecting and creating. So maybe Monday mornings, you can have voice note sprints to ideate, co-working sessions or audio accountability, flex days for vision and content. But your trap is overbooking from a place of hype. Say yes with strategy, not people pleasing. Okay, heart-centered guides, you lead through connection. Your schedule must reflect relational margin. So you can try buffer blocks after emotional meetings, touch base time with your key people, and dedicated offline recovery evenings. Your trap is spreading thin emotionally. Remember, presence is powerful, but only when you're present with yourself too. Okay, visionary brainiacs, you're the thinkers. You need time to plan, process, and prepare. So you can try Thursday vision hours or daily 15-minute brain dumps or even monthly strategy sprints. Your trap is planning more than doing. So pick one idea to act on, even if it's messy. Let's take a second here to reflect together. Ask yourself, what's the best part of your current schedule? What feels off, forced, or like you're constantly resisting it? What would make your days lighter, even if nothing on your to-do list changed? Jot it down or voice memo if that's your style. Now, what's one shift you could make this week to honor that awareness? It might be starting your workday 30 minutes later or blocking Wednesdays for admin only. How about scheduling 10 minutes to sit in silence each night? Start small, stack slowly. You're not building a perfect day. You're building a life. So here's your action plan for this week. Take the leadership style quiz at theshannonfox.com/leadership-style if you haven't already. Identify your current work-life trap and name the myth you've been buying into. And make one schedule shift this week that supports how you lead. And friend, if this episode gave you a little clarity or a big exhale, would you leave a review? Your words help more moms like you find the show and feel less alone in the jungle. You don't need balance like a scale. You need balance like a symphony where the parts work together. And that starts with you. See you again here soon. Hey Working Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share it with a friend who's stuck in her career but doesn't want to sacrifice her family to grow? Also, please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It seriously lights me up to know this show is helping you navigate burnout, find clarity, and lead with confidence. All right. Time to shut down my laptop and pretend I'm not hiding from folding that laundry. I'll meet you back here soon for another episode of Career Growth for Working Moms. You've got this.